And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals in a market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon and welcome to the market recap. It is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I'm John Hoagland. Thanks for joining me this afternoon for a brief recap of what happened in the markets today. And apparently the force was with the markets today. We all know that the rate hike is 0.5%. The biggest rate hike in over 22 years, and the markets are really betting on the Fed to thwart off a recession. Powell has ruled out becoming more aggressive, at least for now, and we saw our equities rally 3%, more than 3% in the NASDAQ, almost 3% in the S&P, and the Dow closing up over 900 points today. It seems as though happy days are here again. Hopefully, if you traded today, you were very careful and did not fight that upside move. Once that knee jerk was over and the direction was decided, you just really could not try and step in front of that freight train. I didn't participate. I chose not to participate, and I'm just happy that I did not decide that I was going to pick a top in that upside move this afternoon and just get run over and run over and run over. So if you feel like you've missed something, it's okay. There's more opportunities coming tomorrow. And if you did happen to step in front of that, hopefully you didn't try it too much. Quite the move to the upside. Looking at the markets today, crude oil, we had a surprise boost in crude stocks, 1.3%, but the market still priced above that weekly kickoff high and that trend line. So we may see some directional activity from that point forward. Watch the open interest tomorrow morning to see if we brought in new business, if we brought in new buyers. If we did not, if we lost open interest on that push to the upside, we're going to have to monitor for them to show up in one direction or the other. Equities, we know that they've screamed after a 0.5 point rate hike. Excuse me. I feel like I'm crying, but I'm happy because 401ks should start looking a little bit better soon. Well, at least hopefully. This move to the upside was substantial. It brought us basically to last week's high. We got to see what's going on. We got to make sure that there's money coming in behind this. Otherwise, we could turn around, and we know that there's still lots of uncertainties in the markets and in the world. Gold dollar took a dive after the FOMC. That sent some buyers into gold and into the 6E, into the euro. Finally, we get a breakout above that 5 or 6 day range that we've been in. The yield on the 10-year actually dropped after the FOMC. We saw prices on the 10-year pop to the upside. We're going to see all this on the charts. The natural gas price really kind of idles at recent highs. So some of the markets may be watching the other ones, but certainly a big up move for us today in the equities. And after a 0.5 point boost in interest rates, I find that to be very interesting. Good afternoon, everyone. Tachyon, it's good to see you. Dan, you're long 41.45. Wow, you were in a good spot there for 5 points and went on to rally another 150 points without you. It actually feels worse than not having traded at all, especially after prior longs for 18 days. Well, Dan, There's always something to learn, right? Sorry that you didn't hang in with that a little bit longer. I'm proud of you that you actually got into it and managed risk and took a little bit of money out of it. That's a good thing. Three Lions Insight. Good afternoon. Hope everybody had a stellar day today, and I do too. I know I did because I didn't lose any money. This was a capital preservation day for me. Scott saw, and hopefully you conquered. Captain Price took a nap. So, Denise, good to see you, Denise. Haven't seen you in a little while. Hopefully things are going well for you. Mike, it's a pretty epic day today, that's for sure. $900 move in the Dow. Wow. And PD Legend, what feels worse is being down. Good job, right, PD? It's good to see you. Tomorrow we have Make Hogue Money. I'm going to pop the link in there. You can register and join us tomorrow at 8:20, right after the market forecast. Almost blew it completely, but ended down a few hundred. Should have listened to myself. Yeah, I said it on the forecast this morning. I've taken enough positions into major economic releases. I've tried to work my way into positions during economic releases, especially things as volatile as this was today. And, I've had some really good days and some really bad days. Add them all up, I'm about even, so I decide not to play. Scott, was a decent day and came out on top. Excellent. Like to hear that. PD, good job managing your risk. Okay. We're going to run through the charts here, see what we see. Tomorrow morning is really going to be an interesting one to see what kind of participation came in these equities on this big push to the upside. Let's take a look. All right, so let's just go left to right this afternoon. Let's start with the crude oil. We were looking at potential for change today in the forecast. Looking at the weekly kickoff high in the trend line, we did get a close above that. We did get a boost in inventories, which is, I would think, a little bit concerning for longs, but we did push to a price that we think might incite longer time frame traders into the marketplace in one direction or the other. Here's the 30-minute chart. It wasn't very aggressive. It wasn't like a lot of momentum on this move to the upside. We never did close the gap. We don't close the gap relatively early. We look for opportunities in the direction of the gap, which was the right thing to do today. We had almost a triple bottom here, it looks like, which is market maybe looking a little bit short in that spot, but at least the market did close above our inflection level and above our trend line. So weekly kickoff low may be supportive. The trend line that we just that really kind of converges on weekly kickoff level tomorrow. So that's going to be another interesting spot for us. Make sure that we had some open interest increase in the fact that maybe we can detect longer time frame buyers in this already. But again, tomorrow is going to be another, as if they're not all, interesting and challenging day. So how can we be prepared and take advantage of a day like today? Typically, if there's a 0.5% rate hike, equities are going to head the other direction. It was more, I think, in the verbiage and the fact that the market is placing bets on the Fed being able to get a handle on inflation without sending us into recession. Powell did also say that he's not planning on getting more aggressive, and I think the market really liked that. Look at the volume. Typically, futures volume doesn't really get all that excited on the upside. But looking at the New York Stock Exchange, it didn't really give us that good pop like we would be looking for in the beginning of a new auction to the upside. according to my calculations, we've got a long way to go before we're going to be breaking downside structure. We've got to go all the way back above 43.90 for that to happen. So really, we've just kind of set up an area of balance inside last week's high and low. What happens tomorrow? Only time will tell. And as we say here, ACH, anything can happen. Quite the move, though. Lots of knee jerking coming into this move. Okay, we were range bound inside the range from yesterday all day long. The number comes out, it looks higher, looks lower, opens the 130 bar, looks way lower. That was almost a really sweet shot down here. Let's see what the low was here. 41.4675, and our low was 41.4275. 4 points of risks, 5 points of risk, and we could have maybe caught part of this or all of it. Wasn't that easy, though, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot harder in real time. I did not do it. I was making that conscious choice not to get involved, basically taking us back to last week's high. The NASDAQ's going to look pretty similar to this. Last week's high, range bound. S&Ps are starting to look a lot more like NASDAQ now. When we take out last week's high, then our next move would be up to weekly kickoff high, which is 13,944. And up above that, I believe we begin to break market state from the downside to the upside. Take a look at gold. A nice pop in gold. The dollar took a dive, so gold takes a ride to the upside. Again, my concern, there's no volume behind this. Volume at the low. Open interest was kind of inert yesterday. I want to see a big jump in open interest if I'm going to be believing that we've put in a low in gold. Take a look at the 30. This move didn't even happen until after the regular trading hour close. Very narrow range, of course, waiting for the FOMC. Similar situation, knee jerk to the downside, knee jerk to the upside. Opening, knee jerk to the downside, right near the session low, and then the rip to the upside. We've come up and rechecked a naked point of control from a while back. We've still got gap to fill all the way up to here. I want to see that we've brought in new business in this move to the upside before I really believe that we've put in a potential low for the time being. All right. Here's the euro. This is the 30-minute chart. I'm not even going to go to the daily chart. We know that it's just been kind of a dead cat bounce along this weekly kickoff low. But that drop in the dollar was enough for us to almost get all the way through our gap that we've been watching as resistance. Once it got through the other side with some pretty decent volume, that becomes support. If we bring price break down there tomorrow, might be an interesting level for us to find a few fish, because that's what we do. We find the fish. Look at the 10-year. Who would have thunk this? Rates go up and 10 years go up. The rates go up to 10 years. Does that make sense? I guess maybe. My old brother Rick was right. This was already in the markets. You get the opposite move in that regard. But it's very knee-jerky, very difficult, very emotional to try and catch these. And here's the natural gas we talked about. We were opening with a gap. We never did close the gap, but we never really did go anywhere. It's as though the natural gas traders were waiting for FOMC to see what happened in those markets and just kind of left this one alone for the day. But tomorrow's a whole nother day. We are focusing for the rest of the week on employment information. We've got jobless claims tomorrow. We've got unemployment on Friday. So this week is not over by a long shot. Thomas, good day on practice. Stayed out of the combine. Glad you had a good day in practice. Mike, this is good for three. I don't know, for three horses. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm missing something. Joe Drinnen, curious. Do you know any pro traders that trade in NQES market like this? If you were watching your dome before it came out, the dome in the S&Ps became very thin. It looked more like the NASDAQ. There were one to 9 bids or offers on each price. So your day traders, most of them are not going to play. Your HFTs and algos, they're not going to play. The market just kind of gets tossed around by illiquidity, not liquidity or direction. And that didn't happen until after the 130 presser came out. So I know a lot of professional traders, and most of them won't be involved in situations like this. Now, especially if there's extreme volatility right from the beginning. There may be ones that found a way in once the direction was decided. You're just looking for pullbacks. You're looking for kind of very short-term, high-volume nodes for the market to come back and return to and see if you can get a bounce off of those. But it's very difficult. I'll bet you the most of the professional traders that I watch on Twitter are probably all talking about the fact that they didn't do anything in that today. They were probably viewing this as an opportunity to hold on to their money, because they've been in these situations and they've had the market run right over them, and in very ugly ways. You only have to have that happen a couple of times and you say, you know what, I'll wait until the market makes sense, instead of trying to FOMO into some sort of situation where you may get lucky. You may get lucky, and but it seems most of the time you don't. Mike, 54 degrees was a nice day. Nice. We got sun here. I've been out a little bit with the dog, but we're working all day pretty much. Rosevone, Bird, the second, third. Dead Cat Bounce, maybe? Haven't seen that name before. Nice to meet you. Yeah, ladder up, stairs down. Oh, I hope everybody had a good day too, Spencer. You're 5 freaking points from the lows. Well, you ever see the movie On the Waterfront? Is it Marlon Brando says, I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. But you got tomorrow. Hey, Rick. Good to see you. I love you, brother. Okay. I'm wondering what happened today. 1979, Margaret Thatcher becomes Britain's first female prime minister. 1966 today, Willie Mays breaks the National League home run record. 1929, legendary actress Audrey Hepburn is born. And wait, there's one other thing. Where did it go? In 1776, on this day, Rhode Island becomes the first colony to declare independence from England. I think that's on their driver's on their license plates. First in freedom. This day in music. Today is Dick Dale's birthday. 1937, Dick Dale was born. And I think he's still actually playing. But he was the king of the surf guitar. If you ever saw Pulp Fiction, the opening song is called Miserlou. Actually, I think it's an Armenian folk song. And that's Dick Dale. Happy birthday, Dick Dale. Today's Randy Travis's birthday. That gold-throated country singer. In 1996, Alanis Morissette started a 6-week run at #1 on the UK album chart with Jagged Little Pill. It was a hell of an album. That's about all I can muster here. It's been an exhausting day. I don't know about you, but these big moving days just wear me out. Tom Marlowe Hogue, noticing in Alog on the NQ that has a bid and offer 14 points apart, around 100 contracts, and another 50 to 60 lot around 2 points in between those. Does that ever seem to get filled, though? Any thoughts? And Algo? I don't know. I'm sure that they do. But without the presence to be there to see it, I don't have that dome open right now. This is here most days, including today. Maybe it's the time of day. Maybe it's because we're getting close to closing. It's there right now? I'll have to look at this, Tom. I'll have to look at this. Keep reminding me of that, and I'll see if I can't find it. It's tiring to lose money. I didn't lose anything today. I was a good boy. Just watching it sometimes. And usually it's the downside that wears me out. Today, the upside seems to be wearing me out a little bit. The S&Ps, look at this. I'm going to put this back on the chart for a second. This is kind of interesting. This is the 30-minute chart. This was a bear flag that we broke out of last Friday. Big down day. Consolidation. Today, we come up. Where do we trade to? That same trend line that broke out to the downside, we go right back to it. It's just amazing how visual markets are. It's going to be a fun one again tomorrow. So, all right, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning for the market forecast. Apparently, we can enjoy this for the for tonight because happy days are here again. I don't know how many of you know this song. It's not rock and roll. If Mom's watching it, she knows. Happy days are here again. Let's hope so. We still got a lot of things to fix in the world, though, so please keep your faith and keep praying for peace. Be good to yourself tonight. Whatever you did, you worked hard, you deserve it. Be good to yourself, be kind to others. Stay clean, keep praying for peace, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:45. And we've got Make Hogue Money tomorrow, so be a busy morning. Let's see what we've got, see what we can find. Let's make some money. That was Happy Days Are Here Again. I don't know who did it originally. I just found it on my phone and played it. It seemed apropos with the upside move we had today. The Shining music, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Floyd's Garage, there's another name I haven't seen before, I don't think. It's great to see you. All right, everybody, have a good night. Rest up. Another big day tomorrow.